What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the farm. It is Saturday, June 15th, and it is time for our garden update for this week. It is going to be a hot one. It is 7 a.m. I am out here a little bit early this morning compared to what I normally get out here because it is going to be in the low 90s today with high humidity, and the heat index is going to be in the mid to 95, 96 degrees, maybe even 97 degree heat index. So I'm going to try to get this garden worked up. You see back here behind me, we've got weeds coming up in the corn. I gotta get that all hoed. We came out the other day and we started hoeing the beans. So we knocked out a bunch of the weeds on the beans, and that worked out pretty good, I think. But the bad thing is we strung soaker hoses here because we haven't had any rain for the past week, and they're not calling for any rain for the next week or more now. And we stretched soaker hose, hooked it up to the well here that we've used historically to water the garden with. Turned the water on, and water started spraying out on the ground everywhere. So my brother had some work done here at his house back over the winter, and they drove some pilings down into the ground, put some footers in for a deck, and it looks like they may have hit the water line in that time because the well had been off all winter long. So we leave the pump off if we're not using it for any of the garden stuff. So oh well, I'm gonna spin around here, walk up through here a little bit. The other thing I've realized is, and I'll show you down here close, when we put the garden in, we put in two different types of weed mat here. Let me spin around here. So this here was a weed mat that I had the wife go pick up, and it was like a True Green or Stay Green premium weed mat. But if you look, there's weeds coming up all under it, and they're actually lifting the mat up. Whereas when we get up here, the other mat that we bought was just a Walmart, Sam's Choice, whatever brand, and it's a lot heavier, and it's not allowing any light to penetrate through it, and there's no weeds coming up under it. So spin around here. Boy, that sun's pretty this morning. But under this mat here, this is the Walmart Sam's Choice weed mat, and there's nothing coming up under it. So I'm going to have to deal with these two weed mats here in front of me now that were supposed to be a 30-year premium high quality weed mat. There and there. And I'm going to have to do something about all those weeds that are coming up underneath it now. But I'll show you here green beans. So we got this row hoed a couple days ago. And then we hoed this row the other day. But I've still got to hoe the row of cucumbers and the row of white half runners and all this corn. So I gotta get that done. And then everyone at my house was still asleep this morning, so I couldn't load my tiller. For the most part, the garden's in good shape because we haven't had any rain in the past week. But I am gonna have to come down and get it tilled a little bit and get this other area worked up for the corn succession planting that I said I was gonna do. So anyway, walk on down here. The rompun contes are doing good. Butternut squash never germinated for some reason. Seeds must be bad. These are the honey boat delicatas. Several of them came up. Most of the sweet dumpling squash came up. The ugly pumpkins, most of them came up. Oh, what's this down here? Oh no. All of my cushaw, except one, have died. I'll spin it around here. I don't know what happened. This is the only one that's still halfway living. All the others died. Like I said, it's been hot this week, and we've had no rain. And I've been traveling, except for when I did have a couple days to come down here. Now the good news is a lot of our yellow squash and zucchini and stuff here, they have finally started to sprout. But what's unbelievable is it took them like 2.5 weeks to germinate, and that's a really long time for squash and zucchini. So I'm gonna get the tools out and get started working on this garden before the sun gets any. It's already coming up more, so I gotta get this started before it gets any hotter here. I'll catch you in a few. Oh man, what a day. So Spent 3.5 hours down in the garden this morning till it just got so hot. I was chugging water just as hard as I could go. Ended up just calling it quits working in the garden. Got part of what I needed to get done. Came to the house, started doing some work with the tractor. And then I got out here and you see back here behind me, started ripping up another food plot spot here, and there's another one over here back there. So ripped that up with the plow, just set to like 6 to 8 inches deep, so it wasn't like I'm going really deep with it. Just kind of turning over all this winter cover crop that I had in here. So going to work on getting this worked up and seeded for a wildlife food plot. That'll all show up on the Outdoors channel, TN Outdoors Fanatic. But did a lot of stuff up here around the house. It was just so ridiculously hot here today. And now I'm out here, I hooked the bush hog up. So I did the plowing, hooked the bush hog up, and bush hogged around a bunch of our blackberries. And so check it out, folks, check it out. Let me find one here. I saw them when I was bush hogging here. Oh, there they are. Look at these blackberries. Man, and these are all wild blackberries. Remember that. Look at that. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. Those are fantastic. First blackberries of the year. Can't wait. You know, there's just part of them. So I bush hogged around this clump of blackberries here. They're starting to turn. They just started turning in the past couple days. There's another clump over here that I have maintained. They're just starting to turn. But the long rows of berries that I have, that's kind of blown out. But I've got blackberry rows stair-stepping down the hillside here. You've probably seen it in past videos, and I'll do some more updates of that here as this summer series progresses. As you start going down the hillside, those aren't ripe yet. These up here always ripen first because it's warmer up here. They get more sun exposure in the early spring. So these berries always come in first. The berries down on the bottom of the hill, they usually come in 3 to 4 weeks later than these. So it allows us to have an extended berry harvest here on the farm, which allows us to have a longer time at market to be able to bring more blackberries to market. So Trey, as much as he is, as excited as he is to find out that the berries are here, man, it is brutally hot, and trying to pick a whole bunch of blackberries, trying to pick a whole bunch of wild blackberries with thorns and everything else in this kind of heat, it is not fun at all. But I'll be doing my part to help him. I'm gonna get back to the house now. Amy and I are gonna head back down to the garden and try to work some more the last hour of daylight here, and then I'm gonna call it quits because I've got another 20,000 plus step day in. I'm getting tired. It's Father's Day weekend, but just have to get all this stuff done regardless. So I've already been to my parents' house today, talked to Dad a couple times. Tomorrow I'm going to try to take it as easy as I can, but there are still things that have to get done. So I'm just going to try to make it as light of a day as I can. So if you haven't yet, I'd appreciate if you go in and you hit that like, subscribe button. If you want to be notified every time we release a video, hit the bell. Have a wonderful week. Happy summer. God bless.